Hey guys, James Wilson-Taylor here for Rock Sound. We are backstage at Download Festival 2024, the Offspring on the lineup, and Dexter joins me now. How are you, man?
Good, man. Good to be here. Very good to be here on a nice muddy day. Muddy and sunny at the same time.
I mean, you might be in luck, fingers crossed, because the sun has come out in full force now after a day of extreme rain. So there we are. The sun is shining in the Offspring.
Earlier today, they shut it down for a little bit.
Crazy.
I guess, right? So
absolutely crazy.
You never know what you're going to get at Download. Well, actually, you do. You're always going to get mud, pretty much,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
But I think this is the first time we played where it's actually sunny out.
Very nice. There we go.
It's always been overcast, which is, it's part of the mood. But this is a nice change.
Yeah, it's got to be nice to not just be back in the UK, of course, but back at Download too, because it's a festival that's always been very, very good to you guys. And I know you know as well as anyone, it's the home of rock over here, man. It always has been. Donington itself, even before Download, it's got to be really exciting to come back for this event specifically, I'm sure.
Totally. There's a lot of history to it, which is great, right? And it's interesting to see things change over time. Like you talked about Donington and how very metal it was, and even when we were here for the first time. But there's a little bit of a different vibe. You can see it's a changing of the guard in terms of the kinds of bands that are here, and it's everything from Pantera to Avenged Sevenfold to us to Fall Out Boy, right? So it's very cool. Yeah,
very, very cool mix of artists. It's really, really nice to see that. And an exciting time for you to be back, because obviously The Secret is out. The album is announced. It is on the way. Supercharged, I remember when we talked back in Vegas of when we were young, you were saying, it's like, it's not going to be that long away. We're working on it. It's ticking away. I promise it's coming. Tell me a little bit about the approach to this one and kind of the writing around it and all that stuff.
And you thought we were lying, right?
No, I believed you. I took you at your word. It's all good.
Usually we do lie because it's not so much lying, it's that you really do think you're close and you don't realize how much work you have to go, because it does seem like you're close. And the other thing is that we like to go on tour and play for the people, and that just takes you away from the studio, of course. So it takes much longer than you think it's going to take to finish it. But so now I know where I saw you. Was it when we were young?
Oh, yeah. We were trying to pinpoint it before when the last time we chatted. That was it. One of those. It was Vegas. That mad old day out there. But yeah, I mean, great to be back here with a new record. And so it clearly is something you're very, very excited about. It's nice to see you guys back so quickly after the last one as well. It's really cool.
Well, the last one took a really long time, and I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I think it had a lot to do with that I went back to school and I didn't realize how much time that was taking. And before you know it, it's been years and years since you put out a record. And so this time we were like, we're determined to get something out more quickly this time. So it was, for us, very quick. It was like 3 years.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's not too bad. That's not too bad in the grand scheme of things.
In rock years, like dog years, that's like 3 months.
Rock years are like dog years. That's how it operates, for sure. It makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the first taster is out there already. Make it all right. Like, tell me a little bit about writing that particular. And I guess, did it always feel like this is the one we should kick off the album with? This should be the first single out there for the people?
No, I thought it was going to be another one, actually.
Okay, interesting.
And we just kind of, you start playing it for people around you, your friends and family or whatever, and then eventually the people at the label that are going to promote it and Make It All Right was the one that kind of kept on coming back as like, we think this is the one. And, I think people like it because it's very immediate. It's not hard to figure out what's going on in this song, right? And I think that's kind of cool. I like the idea of putting out what I would call almost a summer song, right? It's just kind of a feel-good song, and it doesn't always have to be dark and gloomy or something that's really deep that you have to figure out. Sometimes you just want to kind of the joy of life, I guess, right? It's kind of the vibe going on.
Bit of a party vibe. There's nothing wrong with that.
Bit of a party vibe. Yes, that's right.
Nothing wrong with the party. That's all good. We've got to mention it. Well, I know you just did it out in LA, the huge show for the Smash anniversary, which is very, very cool. Now, whenever we hit those kind of anniversary moments, there's always a couple of questions I have. Firstly, I guess, is there any moments when you were putting together that show where you had to actually kind of go, oh, what's that lyric again? What's that moment I had to brush up? There's so many songs from there that have never left the set list, and rightly so, but what were the moments where you actually had to kind of reconsider and rediscover them, I guess, in a way?
That's very true, because we have several songs on that record, maybe almost half that record, that we play most nights, right? So they're so ingrained. And there were some songs that we actually never got to. A song like Not the One we never got to. Something to Believe In, I think maybe we played once.
Wow.
So it was kind of like going back to those, having to learn them for the first time. And we did a couple shows a few years ago. We did a couple in the UK, and it smashed for like 25th anniversary or whatever. But and then immediately dropped them again. So had to kind of go back and get back into it. And it's kind of fun. It's fun. It takes you back to a different time, a different time in your life creatively.
Right, sure.
And a time when part of the reason we didn't play those is because they were pretty technically challenging back in the day. And so going back to them and being able to hit them from a different place where now it feels good and rocks better.
Yeah, that's always nice. Yeah, you've got the years of experience now. You can approach it in a whole new way, man. Yeah. That's really nice to hear. I mean, the other question I always have around these album anniversaries, because I just find it so interesting that, you know, we can see how much the band has developed, and my God, I mean, things exploded for you after that album. There were so many different albums and trying different sounds, as we can see on the new stuff as well. But what stayed the same? Is there anything you learned making Smash that actually did stick with you and maybe became a part of your creative process? Maybe just even something about the way you approach the writing or anything like that you learned that actually has stuck with you?
Yeah. I mean, I think musically there are a lot of what I would call holes in Smash where it had room to breathe because it wasn't always the maximum distortion on the guitar. The guitar start and stop. That was one of the things. I think it was really important for me, songwriting-wise, to just get to it. Like, don't have a long intro. Don't make it go after the chorus for a long time before the second verse starts. Just go bam, 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 and that's kind of what punk rock is all about. And we definitely carry that forward. We don't always play things necessarily in a pure punk style, but we always try to, you know. There was a certain point in the record in the studio where I go, you know what? It's time to stop fucking around, because you'll find yourself you're searching for where the song wants to go, and before you know it, you've got an extended pre-chorus and then a big lead section, and all of a sudden you got this song that's just, it's dragging. And so it's like, you know what, we're gonna stop fucking around and just trim the fat and get to the meat of the song and just be done with it.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what, that's so interesting, because all the records after that as well, you can totally hear that. It's like straight into the catchiest melody possible. Straight, like, here's the catchy riff, here's the very catchy verse, let's get into the pre-chorus. Let's go. That's such a good way to be, though, because that's what's gonna immediately hook an audience in, isn't it?
Who was it that once said, "Don't bore us, give us the chorus"?
I mean, it works, doesn't it? It's a good mantra to live by.
The Beatles,
it's a very good. Yeah, possibly. It might have been. Yeah, come on. I want to mention as well, I'm sure you've been asked loads about this, but that Ed Sheeran moment was so lovely, and I think the reason it was so lovely seeing him get up on stage with you is because he was such a genuine fan. Like, having the tattoo and everything, you could see that he was just delighted. You know what I mean? A star of that caliber, like obviously world famous, used to playing all these massive stages. You maybe even looked a little nervous. He was so chuffed. That must have been a really, really nice moment to connect with him on that.
It was a really nice moment, and you could tell that his affection was genuine and stuff. Exactly. Right? You know, I don't know that I ever considered him to be nervous, but it felt like he was really, you could tell. I mean, well, by that time we had gone through the song together in the trailer, and he had lifted up his shirt and shown us the tattoo. Amazing, and we cheered, we cried, we hugged, and got out to the stage, and so it was really cool. It was nice to meet him. A very genuine guy as well, and had a great time. And you know, he comes from, of course, a very different genre, and I wouldn't expect us to connect necessarily like that. But he was a great guy.
Yeah, really sweet. It was a really sweet moment. It was a lovely performance to see that kind of video go viral in that way. Something we've been asking absolutely everybody here this weekend. So it's a massive lineup. It's always a massive lineup at Download, but I'm sure a lot of old friends of yours, a lot of bands you admire, new bands you might be interested in. Is there anyone out there this weekend that you maybe haven't worked with before, haven't toured with before, where you think that would be a really fun tour, that would be a really fun song? Anyone out there you'd maybe love to do some kind of work with in the future?
Oh gosh, so many great bands, right?
It's huge,
of course. And in terms of working together, you never know where a certain alchemy can come about with two bands that aren't necessarily the same playing together, like if it were Slayer or Pantera or something like that. But I got to say, I was really impressed with Baby Metal. You know, I mean, it's just so wild. It makes your head explode, and it's so cool at the same time. So that was kind of one of the highlights for me this year.
It's become an ongoing joke with us in the Rock Sound office through this festival, because I swear to God, every person we ask is saying Baby Metal, and rightly so, because they're amazing, and I love them, and their live show is so good. But it's great. I love that they're getting the appreciation from everybody. Yeah. It's really cool. Dexter, I'm going to let you go get ready for the show, man. But congrats on everything. Look forward to chatting more about the new album as it comes up. But yeah, just all the best till then. All right.
Terrific, man. Thank you very much.